This is a Lucy Security Awareness video about secure social networking. There is no arguing the usefulness of social networking websites. However, as with any new tool or application, it is important to keep a close watch on its security implications and risk. Spam. Crafty spammers take advantage of the popularity of social networks to design new spamming techniques week after week. SEO attacks. The SEO idea is simple. Utilize keywords and links in such a way that the sites are ranked very high and appear in the first search results. Similar attacks can also happen on social networks. This makes it easy for attackers, who can automatically grab hot keywords and include them in their spam messages to get a better listing. The pressure on people to get as many friends or followers as possible on social media has not gone unnoticed by scammers who leverage on this to get people's account name and passwords, promising them new followers daily. I do not need to stress that it is obviously a bad idea to share your password with strangers. Impersonation of celebrities and friends. Scammers find it quite easy to register new accounts under the names of celebrities using publicly available pictures as profile pictures. This account majorly contains advertisement and spam links. Phishing. Phishing comes in many different flavors. A typical trick is where the user is presented with a link to an interesting picture and the question is this you on this photo? The landing page then is a phishing page that intends to steal the passwords. Apps and widgets. Some social networks allow active content to be embedded in the form of applications or widgets. These applications can then interact with the user and his group of friends. A simple example would be a daily joke application, which posts a new humorous joke to the user's profile site. Some social networks allow remote code to be included, which poses a great risk as it is harder to control what will be loaded. Malicious links. One of the most obvious attacks is to redirect the user to an external malicious site, which may contain anything from advertisements for fake products to misleading applications, phishing sites, or even drive-by download attacks where he has no control. We learned about risks. How can you protect yourself? Here's a few tips. Tip number 1. Run only approved apps. Most applications on social networking sites look harmless, but there are some that may deliver malicious content to your computer. Therefore, make certain that you only install or run only applications that are from trusted sources or approved by your corporate IT department. Tip number 2. Think twice before you post. Once a message is posted, it is nearly impossible to remove it completely from a social network. Therefore, think twice before posting pictures you wouldn't want your parents or future employers to see. Protect your reputation on social networks. Tip number 3. Don't share sensitive data. A post like 2 days to go to the 1-week family vacation, Disney World here we come, might seem relatively harmless, but you have just told all your friends as well as their friends that you will be away from home for a full week. This is comparable to putting a sign on the main road that shouts "empty house" for all to see. Tip number 4. Know what action to take. If someone is harassing or threatening you, remove them from your friends list, block them, and report them to the site administrator. Tip number 5. Be cautious when talking about your job or company. Be very careful how you share personal information online, especially information about your job. For example, the statement, "My boss just laid off 30 employees," can have serious public relations and financial consequences for the company. The impact can be even more serious if that company is publicly owned. Tip number 6. Avoid password reuse at all costs. It can be quite difficult to generate and remember unique, strong, robust passwords. Still, it is crucial to not reuse your passwords among different platforms. Also, change passwords regularly and use multi-factor authentication when available. Tip number 7. Stay vigilant. Whenever you're online, remember that bad things can happen. Accounts, links, and direct messages should be analyzed with a careful, skeptical eye. When in doubt, don't click. Tip number 8. Curate your connections. The possibility of a fraudulent or compromised account sending you a malicious link is increased with the more connections you have. Keep just the necessary connection. Only a small percentage of your contacts should be considered both professional colleagues and personal friends. Tip number 9. Use social media privacy settings. Spend a few minutes to tighten the privacy settings on your social media profile, as it is safer than the default setting on most. Tip number 10. Use different profile photos across social media accounts. Remember that images can be easily found using search engines. Utilize unique profile photos to differentiate between your personal and professional accounts and change them on a regular basis. Tip number 11. Use different account names for personal and professional social media accounts. Be very careful not to use the same social media handles for your personal and professional accounts. Instead, maintain a professional distance between the two. Tip number 12. Be cautious when allowing apps to track your physical location. Be certain to disable geotagging features at sensitive locations, or you may be inadvertently telling people exactly where you are, where you work, and where you live with GPS accuracy. Thank you, and stay safe.